So this is an older study, but still very relevant, done in 1988. They found that lung capacity was the single best predictor of longevity. It's found that it calms the nervous system, which you'll experience later, balances the heart-brain connection, which can really affect focus, boosts parasympathetic activity, and enhances overall resilience, not to mention the athletic performance it can create. Go to the next. Oh, I have the, sorry. I'm so used to Nathan doing it, but he gave me the power to do it on my own. Okay. And because I'd shown the videos, I forgot to tell you how I know all of this. So I'm going to back it up real quick. So when I got yoga certified, first when I got Pilates certified in 1990, it would have been 96, no one had heard of Pilates. And in that instruction, we were told breath is everything. But I just kind of had to go with it blindly. Oh, you exhale here, you'll feel it in your abs, it's important. Because they really didn't give you the why, but that education stuck. I knew it was important for the workout and for the activity. Then in yoga, it was brought up again, but I didn't feel like I really understood all of the mechanics. And that's a part of me that it just runs deep. I want to understand it fully and understand each aspect of it. Although in Pilates and in yoga, I could feel the power of working with the breath. I believed it. I couldn't understand why or really how to impact someone's breathing where it changed fully. So then I decided I would get certified in it and take a deep dive. And I did a course called The Oxygen Advantage with Patrick McEwen. He's considered one of the experts on breathing right now. It comes out of the Butterfield method. And I did that certification. I loved it. I learned a lot. So then I did the advanced certification. Loved it, learned a lot, but thought, oh, I still want to learn more. I still have more questions. I want to really know what it takes to get someone's breath to change, not just in the moment, but all the time, and what that entails. So then I found that James Nestor, who wrote the book Breath, was doing a workshop, and I thought, I'm going to go do that. So I went and spent several days learning all about his beliefs, his techniques, and just accruing more and more information. And then I decided, okay, but I still have questions, still want to know more. So then I've been doing a Zoom class with a doctor who speaks about the deep mechanics of it and feel like, okay, I've got more. But I can honestly say that what it does is it keeps bringing this yearning to learn more and more. And so I'll continue to study more about breath because I think it's so important. But I do think with all of that education that I have a lot to offer that we can start using right now. You'll see it in every single class. And I want to take you through what I really believe will teach you how to have mechanics of better breath, better understanding, and then how to hijack your breath so you can be more present, more relaxed, more calm, or even more energized. And so I'm going to hopefully take you through this full journey and share with you all that I've learned so far and how to really make some change. So this is one thing they've realized is that forced vital capacity, which is how much you can blow out, you can lose up to 40% by age 80. That, and how much power you have when you exhale. But that can be changed. You don't have to settle for that. Because how many of us have been told we need to strengthen our diaphragm, we need to make sure we're using it correctly. All of the things that make you breathe correct. I've never been told it, so I got interested in it, or if I was in class specific for it, such as yoga and Pilates. So that 40% loss, it doesn't have to be. And that's what we're going to fight, because you can turn it around at any age and any stage. So I want to ask questions about your breath, because this is about you and how you change yours. So just close your eyes or have a relaxed stare. Just come into awareness of your own breath. And ask yourself, am I breathing through my nose or am I breathing through my mouth? And then go through your day. Do you know if you breathe through your nose or through your mouth? How about when you sleep? Has anyone ever asked you or told you, hey, you breathe through your mouth? Or when you sleep? So I want you to log that in mental note number 1. I breathe through my nose or I breathe through my mouth, because that's one of the mechanics that is so incredibly important for health. You want to be breathing through your nose all the time. But something like 40% of us don't. But there's ways to change that. So now I want you to close your eyes again. Start to come into awareness of your breath. I want you to ask yourself another question. When I breathe, am I getting taller or am I getting wider? Once you have that, open your eyes. This is the only time I'll tell you you want to be getting wider. Focus on wider. And if you're like, but I'm getting taller, we're going to have some solutions for that. That's a mechanic that's extremely important. And sometimes that can change. When you get stressed, a lot of us will start breathing taller. So there are times when that'll switch, but you want your all the time to be, I'm breathing wider. Or you can say, I'm getting wider, and let that be freedom. Okay. I want you to close your eyes one last time. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. Hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe. Did you find that challenging? Can you pause your breath? Because being able to pause your breath and hold your breath is another part of very important mechanics. Everybody following me so far? Everybody good? So we're going to start to work on how to fix your mechanics, which is step 1, because you want to be breathing the best that you can all the time. And so first I want to go into why breathing mechanics matter. And I did my slides really quick, so you might notice something's misspelled or missing. I just wanted you to have a visual in case I got boring, but you might notice. So breathing wider means that you're breathing from your diaphragm. You're breathing into your belly. But more than that, you're breathing in 360 all the way around. And we're going to get more into that. But at least you want to be breathing into your belly. When you're breathing and you're using your diaphragm, the beautiful muscle we were watching, that fully fills your lungs. It also tells your nervous system, everything's safe. I'm breathing deep and full. You can relax. They found that that lowers your heart rate and blood pressure. You start to create that pumping mechanism that helps your body detox lymph and all of the things. It impacts your spine and the health of your spine. It makes your posture better. When you breathe through your diaphragm in 360, you're impacting almost every part of your body. When you chest breathe, you're using your neck and your chest muscles that aren't meant for keeping that much air. Your breath is shallow and only fills up the upper lungs. Your body hears that and says, oh, she's breathing like she's running from something. We must get worried. So then you get hyped up. You're not as relaxed. They found that it can raise your heart rate and blood pressure. So let's just feel it. Put your hands on your chest. Close your eyes. And only let yourself breathe into your chest. Feel only your hand moving. Feel your shoulders rising up and down. We are not built to only breathe from here. And it creates more anxiety. And you can even start to feel that tension come through your shoulders and into your neck. Can you feel that? And now try to get a really deep breath, but don't let it go into your diaphragm. You cannot breathe as deep. You become more like you're gasping. Can you feel that? Yeah. So now take your hand to your belly. Let everything soften. Even bring the tongue to the roof of your mouth, which relaxes your jaw and your face and relaxes you. And see if you can just bring your air gently, calmly, relaxed into your belly. Can you feel the difference? Those are the muscles. When you do that, you're becoming that picture of that diaphragm up and down. Anybody not feeling that? I'm going to go through that one later because we've got it out of order a little. So now I want you to close your eyes and just start to become aware of where you feel your breath. Do you feel when you inhale and exhale the fronts, sides, or back? So from right here, with that answer in mind, open your eyes. I bet a lot of you are feeling your breath into your stomach, into your diaphragm. But are any of you feeling your breath all the way into your back? Most people don't. Some people do. But if you're not feeling your breath in your back, you're only using 20% of your ability. But I went a long time in my life before hearing that you should also be feeling your breath into your back. I don't know how I'm going to do this. Hold on. I forgot I needed my hands. Hold on. Okay, Okay, everybody hear me? Let me move this. Okay. So for breathing through your back, remembering when you look there, can you see how that diaphragm comes all the way down to L3 and even to L4? It's connected to your back. And then let's pretend like my hands are my diaphragm. My diaphragm goes like this. Most of my diaphragm is into my back. And do you know what's back there more than in front? Your lymph system. Your lymph system is your passive, it's your detox system. I like to call it a passive circulatory system because it needs pumping of your breath to help you detoxify. And a lot of that lymph is right in the back of that diaphragm. And so when you bring your breath into the back, you're supporting your spine health, you're getting more availability of your diaphragm, more efficient in your breath and more strength, more space. and you're also detoxifying better. So we're going to work on bringing the breath into the back. And we're going to go lightly with it because we're all seated, but it's so much easier to feel it when you're laying down. So what I would suggest is tonight when you get home, you're about to go to bed, get like a little towel or even a washcloth, and you're going to put it down on the bed, and you're going to lay down, hold on, with this part of your back on the washcloth. And that's a cue. And then I want you to relax, and I want you to see if you can inhale and bring your breath into that washcloth. And just start to, by being there, training yourself to bring that breath into your back. Now, I will say, if you're in yoga or Pilates or any other class where we're getting down on the mat, we're working on this. And this is why. You will detoxify better. You will become a more efficient breath. You're getting more of that use of the diaphragm, and you're getting that massage of all of your organs if you start to remember at the earlier video. So now everybody place your hand on your back at your low ribs. And if it hurts your shoulders, it's okay. You can do the other one. Let your shoulders slide down your back. Let everything relax. And as you inhale, see if you can feel that inhale into your back. You might just surprise yourself. Be like, yeah, I feel it. And if not, maybe set that as your goal, knowing that when you lay down, it's easier to feel it. Can anybody feel it? Cool. So then that's your homework. Another way I like to do it, but we didn't have enough of those balls that we use in the class, grabbing those infilled balls and putting it between you and the chair, and you can kind of feel it then too. That's another way that I teach it. Any questions so far? Let me grab my clicker. Okay, so we've gone through back breath and where you should be breathing, but we're still working on fixing mechanics, right? I didn't think this completely through. Hold on. Okay. I want you just to close your eyes and come into your breath a little bit again. And now place your hands right on your low ribs. And with your eyes closed, start to breathe. Does that feel restricted at all? Just kind of become aware and make a mental note. And now open your eyes. And if we haven't been breathing fully or in the right places, we can lose some of the mobility through this whole area. And that's a lot of problems that people have with getting deep, full, good breaths, is they've lost mobility. And a lot of times when they've lost mobility, did anybody notice if it felt tight? Even if it doesn't feel tight, you're going to notice a change, I hope. But our whole body is encased in connective tissue called fascia. Are you familiar with it? It's like netting that goes through your whole body, and it's everywhere. And to me, this fascia is smarter than your muscles, but it can hold tight around here when we haven't been breathing as fully or moving as much and we get restrictive or been sick. And that makes it harder to get that deep breath. And sometimes you might not even know it. But there's a simple way you can massage your fascia that allows you to have a more expansive breath. So we're going to all try that now, and we're only going to do one side so you can feel the difference. If not, you might not know what the change is. Okay, so we're all only going to work the left side, and I'm going to mirror it. So this is my left for intensive purposes, okay? Because that's your left, right? Okay. Okay, so only do your left side. But first, we got to warm up. So you're going to just start to massage down the center of your body. And I just have the tops of my fingers. You don't have to push too hard. Just think of a light massage. And what we're doing is we're warming up that connective tissue. We're getting circulation into that area, which can improve movement. I hope. Now I want you just to go kind of from the sternum up to your shoulder and just press in with the tops of your fingers. Think of really giving that massage. If your fingers get tired, you can always take a break. And now come right under here and find that rib and just kind of massage right on those ribs. And then work down a little lower and kind of put your fingers in between the ribs. And then go back a little, because remember, it goes all the way around. And now come up and down and even lean to the side and massage down the side. Keep really pressing with your fingers. See if you can create a little bit of heat. And then back down. And now come here and just let everything relax. Close your eyes. And see if you can feel a difference between your left and your right side. Can you feel it? That alone starts to impact your breathing. I mean, how simple, but can you feel it? Kind of neat, isn't it? Should we get the other side? Okay, so from right here. So what you're also doing is getting your lymph or passive circulatory system to move. Working the fascia. And if you didn't feel it, you might not have been tight there. And that's fine. But if you did feel it, it's a tool to put into your toolbox of, hey, I want to breathe. I want to breathe better. I want to have this fullness, this being able to expand. And now come down, feel the ribs. And then up and over. And then lean to the side and down and up. So if you see me leading a class and we're doing this, you now know why. Okay, come down. And now close your eyes. Take a couple of breaths. Do you feel a difference? Then that goes in your toolbox on number one way we've learned so far to improve your breath. Any questions so far? Okay. I want to get you all breathing into your belly, into your back, and into your diaphragm, and using your diaphragm fully. And this is my number one way to teach it. It exaggerates the mechanics. And if you practice this a little bit each day, you'll notice that breathing deeper and lower becomes easier. So we're going to do seated cat-cow. I'm going to mimic it while standing. But you've got the picture. Well, I know. I'll do it like this. So you've got the picture up there. So I want you to come so you're seated up nice and tall. And first, I want you to reach your chest forward, send your bottom back, and feel that stretch and your spine's extended. Everybody feel that? And now go to the opposite direction. Do a tuck with your tailbone, round back, and come into cat. So let's just get the mechanics. Come up into cow. Pull back into cat. Everybody's got it. So now we've got to add the breathing part. So we're going to add an inhale and an exhale. First, we're just going to do the breath, then we're going to do the exercise. So first, Come into cow as you inhale. Now come into cat as you exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Now we're going to add a little oomph to it, okay? So what I want you to do, come into cow and inhale. Now inhale further. Can you feel that expansion? Now exhale as you come into cat. Now exhale fuller. Can you get even more out? See how you can get more in and out. So inhale, come in to cow. Exhale, come into cat. Now take it to the edges. Inhale, 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 full, full, full. Feel that expansion. Now exhale. Exhale as you come into cat. Now see if you can get even more out. Pull your belly to your spine and come up. Could you all feel that? Can you feel how you're working your diaphragm? Can you feel how on that cat you're getting more air out? That's what you want. By doing this, they have found that this is the best way to remind your body, I want to breathe like this. Because all of us, until probably at the youngest, age 5, unless we had something going on that's not general, we would breathe through our bellies and through our sides just like we were supposed to. So our body gets this cue and says, yes. It wants to return back to normal. So it's not hard to come back to that deeper breath. You just got to send the cues. You just have to come into that. So your cues right now, I'm going to make sure that my connective tissue is flexible enough to allow that deeper breath. I'm going to remind my body, and I'm going to expand my way of breath through cat and cow, which gives me a more expansive breath, and it gives me the reminder to come deeper into my breath. So now close your eyes and just see if you're breathing a little different. See if you're breathing a little wider. You can still be breathing a little tall. And now open your eyes. Everybody still good? Could you feel that? Okay. I forgot to do this part earlier, so I'm going to sneak it in now, and it may make my slides a little off. But I want you to feel this next part. And it should have probably gone with the back part. But I really want you to feel what's going on with your breath and your diaphragm. So I want you to take your hands to your ribs. I want you to walk down to your lowest rib, which is quite a bit lower than you might think. I want you to then trace it all the way back to your back. When I do that, my hands are all the way back here. That is your diaphragm and your expansion of your ribs. That's why your breath coming into your back and coming in full and being expansive is so important. And that's why massaging all the way down here is important. So those are the things. Also, it can take you into one other little breathing trick, because I find sometimes, and you might find it too, that when I'm working on my breath, my brain gets too active of am I doing it right? I don't know. Anybody else go through that? And I want to make it harder than it is. So another way to also remind yourself to breathe through your belly is another little trick. So I want you to take your hands and place them right into your ribs. And inhale. And as you inhale, can you feel your diaphragm want to push your hands out of your ribs? And exhale. Feel like your hands find their spot again. That's a quick, easy way to be like, okay, this is my breathing correct. Because my hand's getting pushed out. instead of letting your mind take you on this crazy little journey of, am I doing it right? Is it down here? Because we all kind of go into that. So, do you want to do it one more time? Tuck your hands into your ribs. Get them in and good and tucked. Now inhale. And your inhale should pop your hands out. And then exhale, you find that space for your hands again. I almost forgot that one. Okay, we already did. So, okay, Stow. After watching the video, are you excited to learn what he taught? So he's the opera singer, Olympic coach, helped TB patients, and was very successful. So the goal is not more air, it's better use of air. And one of his thoughts was, you need to train the exhale. The exhale is where everything is. Because the inhale is a reflex. You're going to pull more air in. But exhale takes the work. And now I want you to try one thing real quick. I want you to inhale. Now exhale. Now exhale more. Most times we don't get all the air out. We just kind of let it stay because we're not driving that exhale muscle. So that's what made his thoughts so smart. Let's strengthen the exhale. And because the way we have to use our diaphragm to make a sound, let's do it with sound. And so, it's a very simple exercise. I like to teach it in class where you pinch your nose, but you don't have to. We're not going to do it that way for the round one. You're going to take a small inhale. You're not going to inhale anymore. And you're going to start exhaling as you count out loud over and over again till you run out of air. And this was the technique he taught that helped opera singers, athletes, TB patients, and not too hard. So let's do it together. Small inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3. You felt it, right? Perfect. Want to do round two? Okay, if you thought you might cheat, which I catch myself every once in a while, you can always pinch your nose and it would look like this, but that's up to you. Small inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. So it's a great thing to do while you're waiting on a red light. Count while holding your breath. But you'll see it in almost every class. So now if you see a bunch of people pinching their nose, counting, you'll know why. Because I sometimes wonder what it looks like when people walk by class. Okay, on to the nose. If you learn one thing from today, which I probably should have put it at first, I want everybody breathing through their nose. It's hugely important. When you breathe through your nose, it calms your mind. It improves your energy. It supports immunity. You're more stressed when you breathe through your mouth. You get less oxygen, and you get more risk of illness. Think about it. Your nose filters it, humidifies it. We're meant to breathe through our nose. But a lot's happening in our culture and every other reason where most of us, or not most, but a lot of us are starting to breathe through our mouth. And if you know or suspect that you might be breathing through your mouth instead of your nose, this is your one thing to work on. I used to be a runner, and when I first took the first course, I noticed that when I was getting fatigued, I would start to breathe through my mouth. So I took back my running completely to ground zero and would only allow myself to run as far as I could with my mouth closed. I went so far as to tape my mouth, no telling what people saw or thought when they saw me running, but I was so sold that it would help. And you know what? It changed my running time more than anything else. I have noticed that my athletic capability in my 50s has increased more than in my 40s by simply not letting myself breathe through my mouth. I breathe through my nose, and if I have to go through slower than everybody else, I train longer till I get there. And the results have been great. They're even saying that if you breathe through your mouth, your whole jawline changes. Almost everything's impacted. So I went to go do the study with James Nestor, and if you read his book, a big part of his book was that he had his nose completely blocked so that he could only breathe through his mouth. The doctors were horrified at this idea, saying this is unconscionable to do. And he describes it as miserable. Everything started to change. And pretty quickly, his blood pressure went up. All things started to change. Most notably, he developed sleep apnea. He'd never had it before. Started snoring. It had not been a complaint before. Felt miserable. Said it was the one thing he wanted to change and change quickly. And felt like he had gone to heaven when he finally got those things out of his nose. So then you might add, if I breathe through my mouth, what do I do? One thing is to start to develop it as a habit. Use it as, okay, for this amount of time, I'm going to make sure my mouth stays closed, and starting to put your consciousness in it. But a lot of times start to sleep with our mouth and breathe through our mouth, and we don't even know it. And that's a long period of time to be breathing through your mouth. Another thing that happens when you breathe through your mouth, it changes the whole microbiome of your mouth. You're more likely to have bad breath, more likely to get cavities, more likely to have dry mouth. It does a lot. Yeah. And then, so one thing he suggested, and when I did the Breathing Oxygen Advantage certification, they sent us all mouth tape and said, sleep with it. And I thought, oh my gosh, nobody has ever told me I snore. I don't breathe through, I sleep well. I don't need this. So a year went by, and I didn't try it. And one day I looked at it and thought, what's the harm? I'll try it. And so I did. I put that mouth tape on my mouth, went to sleep. I promise you, I have never, ever slept as deep. It is the one thing that I make sure I have if I am traveling. It's like, okay, I can lose my suitcase, but I'm not going to lose my mouth tape because my sleep is so changed, and I never knew how much. And what it is that when you go into sleep, you can start to breathe through your mouth, and that gently wakes you up, and you don't really realize you're not as deep. But the feeling was pretty profound. So let me just tell you a little bit about mouth tape. Thank you. You can buy professional mouth tape and wear it at night, and it just goes across your mouth like this. I know, sexy, right? But these are kind of expensive. So I just buy a roll of tape. You want to make sure it's the right kind. I forgot to bring mine so I could tell you the brand. It's in a roll. And I take just the smallest piece, like a postage stamp, and I just put it right here. It's not sealing my mouth shut. I could put my tongue there, it would pop right off. It's just reminding my mouth to stay shut. It's not holding it shut. But if you suspect, or if you're just game to try something new, I would recommend you try mouth tape. It has really been a game changer for me, and I was really, really surprised. I was really bah humbug about it. And I've since then told a lot of people, and those people have been hooked on it. And when I was at the James Nestor workshop, everybody else was talking about how they're hooked on it. So please give it a thought. And don't judge me. Okay. If you're not breathing through your nose, you're missing an important chemical called nitric oxide. If you've been in any of my classes, you've heard about it. So just to give you a few of the things of nitric oxide, it improves oxygen uptake. It's antimicrobial. It's found to be antiviral, antibacterial. So it helps boost your immune system. Lowers your blood pressure, lowers heart rate, and dilates blood vessels. Produced in your nasal passages. And the best way to do it is to breathe with your mouth shut. Another way you can increase it is by humming. Humming is this powerful thing, and since I started hearing about it, I've noticed sometimes when I see somebody in stress, or sometimes kids, they'll be kind of doing a hum. Have you ever noticed that? Because humming does several things. Hold on, I can't talk with this anymore like that. It boosts immunity because when you hum, it's the best way to increase nitric oxide. Humming actually clears your sinuses. But it also helps with your vagus nerve. And your vagus nerve is your wandering nerve that's always kind of listening to how you're impacted by the world, telling you if you should be stressed or not stressed. It enhances vocal tone. I can't attest for this, and you're about to find out. Lowers heart rate and calms stress and anxiety. So it does a lot of things for your health. What I've noticed is while I'm exercising, if I hum, which you probably tried, hopefully, and get fit with Jennifer, when I hum, I notice that I've got a little more strength. I've got a little bit more oomph. I can go a little bit more. It's probably that boost in oxygen uptake from the nitric oxide. All of those things. So we're going to all try humming. So I'm going to take the mic away because I don't want you to run out yet. But you're going to put your hands here, up high. We're going to inhale, and on the exhale, we're going to make a sound. Okay, hold on. Can you feel it? Let's do two more. Do one more. Now notice how you feel. 3 hums and you usually feel a little more relaxed. It can be helpful in traffic. Why? Jan says no humming while you're driving because he ran through a red light. Me, on the other hand, I'm like, you can go ahead of me if you'd like, which is not always the way it goes down. So for me, humming sometimes works. Could you all feel that downshift? We didn't do many, so. Okay, at the end, if you want to stay, we're going to do what's called the Bolt test, which can be something you can track to measure your breath, because there's a lot that they found that your ability to hold your breath or handle CO2 has a profound impact on breath. But before I go into that part, it has been noticed that in our culture, we're all breathing faster. Our breath rate as a culture has gone up. And you might say, why does that matter? But it does really matter because our nervous system listens to our breath to set if we're stressed or if we're relaxed. And when our breathing rate is faster, we are more stressed. We don't hit those more relaxed zones. And it's in a relaxed zone that we repair and regenerate our bodies. So the fact that we're all breathing at a faster rate means we're not coming into those more relaxed states. And you can be sitting in front of the TV, reading a book, and not completely in that downshift that we need for overall health. And so the findings that our breath rate, and so I started tracking mine on my Apple Watch, my breathing rate, to see if I could have an impact on it, and it has. It's gone down. In doing the exercises to make sure I was breathing through my back and through my diaphragm, doing the Stow exercise, doing humming, and doing this. So, CO2 is a trigger to breathe. I bet most of you would think what I did, and that is, I need to breathe because I need oxygen. Most of us need to breathe because we need to let go of CO2. There's a sensor in the brainstem that's constantly monitoring CO2 levels in our blood. Sensing more CO2 is what gives us the urge to breathe. So by allowing yourself and building up, being able to do a small breath hold can start to have an impact on breath efficiency, because to be able to hold your breath, you have to breathe more efficiently. And it starts to build your tolerance of CO2. That tolerance comes up and your breathing rate comes down. So there's a test called the Bolt test where it just measures how long you can hold your breath after you've exhaled. And it'll tell you where you're at with that. So by measuring that, you can see if you're breathing efficiently, because you have to breathe efficiently to be able to hold your breath. But I always think, let's do a little breath hold practice. So one thing I personally do, and you might see me when I leave my car, is I want to be okay with holding my breath. And I'm not saying this one's for everyone, but it might be for you. I get out of my car, and the first thing I want to do is start to work on my breath. And there's not much going on from my car to here. And so I take a small inhale, I hold my breath, and I walk 10 steps, and then I take a couple of more steps, and then I hold my breath again, and I try to practice a few breath holds while I walk. And the number's not that important. It's just being okay with holding your breath for a little while. Why do I not take a... I might, but I'm trying to just kind of like challenge my system. And so, and that, along with all of these exercises, has greatly improved my Bolt score. But there's a good exercise, it's very popular, and it's in a lot of my classes. It's one of the reasons I like to do the 4-7-8 breath, because it adds a breath hold. Only 7 seconds, but that 7 seconds helps your body get used to the carbon dioxide. Also, our body's always listening to our breath. Our body's listening to our exhale. Anytime our exhale is longer than our inhale, our body starts to relax more. So a longer exhale is extremely important. And so this breathing technique can help you relax more and work on a breath hold. Do y'all want to try it? So we're going to do 3. You can come to Tai Chi, yoga, and lots of classes and experience this in class. But with your eyes closed or with a relaxed gaze, and if you end up falling asleep, it's okay. This is a relaxing breath. So we're going to inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And just notice how you feel. So in that one simple exercise, you worked on a small breath hold, improving efficiency and your ability to handle CO2. Your exhale was longer, so you were telling your body to relax. It's okay to relax. And you might have felt a shift. They say 4, just doing it 4 times starts to speak to your nervous system. Could you feel it? So our body listens to our breath. It's what's of the primary things that sets our nervous system. It listens to our heart rate and rhythm. And as it's listening, if your breath is slower, it tells your body it's okay to be more relaxed. When your exhale's longer, you relax more. When your breath is all the way down into your lower lobes, it tells your nervous system you can relax. So that's the way to feel more relaxed all day, but it can also be a great tool when you're feeling stressed or get bad news, because you can instantly flip the switch by coming into your breath. And it's one of the most powerful tools. So I have clients that come to my house. I have a little studio at my house, and I work with riders. And they're equestrian riders. Usually they're really needing their nervous system to be calm. And I've really started studying the nervous system, because when they come to work with me, I put a heart rate monitor on them. And then I start to look at how can we get them into the most calm state that also creates deep focus, so they can ride and be with their horse, competing, but also calm. And so working with breath, I've noticed that I can take somebody working with me, and this was one lady, I took it off my phone, my screenshot. On the picture to the left, that's when she came in. It's an erratic heart rate. It's looking at heart rate variability, if you're familiar with that. Heart rate variability is one of the longevity things they're starting to track. It's not your heart rate, it's the beat, it's the way it changes its beats. So she comes in, you can see how erratic her heart rate variability is. We did 4 minutes of a breathing exercise, and she comes into coherence. Can you see those rolling? And that's how breath can change your body in just 3 minutes from the outside looking in. It's when your body and your nervous system gets into sync. And when it's in sync like that, you're in a great rhythm for health. A lot of people call it flow states. I had gotten the idea from surfers who were trying to stay calm, but then also handle a big wave. And they were working on creating breath patterns like this with the heart rate. And I thought, well, I'm just going to copy it with my riders. And so to get this, it's a simple 3 minutes of inhaling for 5, exhaling for 5. This puts you at a 6 breath per minute breathing rate. They say that this is ideal. A lot of the monks that they would go study, they would find that doing their chants would put them at a 6 breath per minute, and that a lot of the religious songs can put people at a 6 breath per minute. And so we're going to experiment with that if you want to towards the end, because I can't play the music that would help you tune to it, but I wanted to give you a little bit of information about it. So just to go through, steps to change your breath. You want to breathe through your nose. It produces nitric oxide, improves oxygen delivery, calms the nervous system, signals safety, keeps the microbiome healthy. You want to breathe wider, not taller. Expand ribs from sides and back. Reduce chest and neck breathing. Improve spinal support or breath. Access full lung capacity. And create a strong, mobile diaphragm, which will improve your posture, balance, support your spine and your core, and enhance lymphatic flow. And one thing more to say about your diaphragm, it's right here. Anytime you're moving and exercising, you're impacting your diaphragm, creating more flexibility for it. So anytime you're moving more, you're helping your diaphragm. Then you can add the massage, the cat-cow, the placing your hands right under your ribs, maybe the nose tape, or the mouth tape, not nose tape. And I had to put the picture at the conference. That's what I had prepared. So, Nathan, if you want to shut off the video, do you all want to try the coherent breath I was talking about?